What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Clams. I'm Will here on Long Island, and I want to talk about a particular fish. This is a golden tilefish. Now, it's in the family of tilefish, and there's blue line tile and then there's sand tile. Now, what's interesting about these guys is that you can catch them here on Long Island, and you can catch them as far down in the Gulf of Mexico. You can catch them as far down as the tip of Key West and out into the Eastern Atlantic. They're a really widespread fish. They sit in the mud and you gotta drop deep. They're down really, really deep. They're an amazing tasting fish, and one of the reasons why is because they feed on crustaceans and squid. So a lot of people will compare their meat to lobster, and it has a sweet kind of really amazing flavor, but it's also a very versatile fish that you can cook with. Now, a little bit of story time, real quick. So I only have a little bit of footage of catching these guys. I went out with my buddy Dean and his two friends, Hal and Bob, and we went about 50-60 miles offshore to target these guys. Now, you need ideal drifting speeds. You need pretty calm weather. We had neither. So Dean was manning the controls of the boat to kind of create a controlled drift. And that was when we got our couple of hookups. Now, when I got my hookup, we discovered that one of the fuel lines in the boat had burst, and we were very far offshore. So our 2.5 hour ride home turned into a 10-hour ride home. So I didn't really feel comfortable shoving a camera in people's faces, you know. It just didn't feel right. Morale felt a little low on the boat. So I just have a couple of clips of reeling up. I think Bob reeled up one and I reeled up one. So I'll show you guys that now, and then we'll get to cleaning this fish. Yep. We're on the bottom.
Right where I'm catching fish.
There we go. Come on. I don't know if that was rocks or a bite, but
What's that?
I don't know if we went over rocks or a bite.
I don't think it was on the rock.
And that was a bite.
I had a bite. Yeah.
We're looking for any fish right now.
At this point, we want to fish on the boat.
Yeah. Any fish.
There we go.
Oh.
Not there.
There we go.
You lost him or you got him?
You got him.
Oh, that's a nice one. Keep up.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, still on.
go down here, you're gonna do it quick, and then you're gonna shut it off, right?
How you do the engine?
Yeah,
Hold on a second. I just gotta get this line out.
Here, let me do that, pal. You go up here.
Okay.
You do the engine.
Total chaos. It's wild. I think the one I got is about the size of the one you had, maybe.
Shut it!
Got it.
Got a broken cup on this side. You can't start that end. Alright. Might as well fish. We got a 10-hour ride home.
Oh,
No, it gets better.
You only go one engine?
Can only go, yeah, I can't start that engine. Nice fish. Really good.
there we go.
You don't have to stay.
Oh, well, oh, shit.
All right.
Yeah.
We can't hold on.
Yeah. Yep.
Dean, where do you want me to put this guy?
In with this guy.
Yeah.
Bleed him?
Well, yeah, lead him first.
Yeah, and then let him be out. Let him run out a little bit. Then we'll change him over.
So one of the first things I'm going to do, I'm going to actually scale this guy. I'm going to scale and gut him because we are going to utilize the skin off of this fish. It was slim pickings out there, and we got what we could. So I'm happy with what I have here. I can work with it. So I'm going to scale this, and I'll see you back at the cutting board. Okay. We are scaled, gutted, ready to go. So what's interesting about these fish is that they are incredibly easy to catch. And really, anything you put in front of them, they will happily eat. So to go out, like tilefish is kind of something that you, it's like the ego booster and fill the boat with meat fish. Less so something that you're hunting. So to go out there and not clean up on the tile was the insult to injury to the engine failing us. But I will say Dean got us home safe. We actually hit some tuna. You guys will have to, I'm not sure in what order I'll put this stuff up, but you'll either have to go back or wait for that episode. But we made the best of a bad situation, that's for sure. Gonna go up and over those ribs. But as you can see, why tilefish is such a sought after fish no matter where it is. I mean, it's incredible. Very, very firm, but yet flaky and soft texture. It is a very versatile fish in whatever you cook. It will take on that flavor, but will be able to stand up against it as well. So I know I scaled the skin. We're gonna take it off and we're actually gonna make like a pork crackling with the skin. But with the scales off, I gotta be a little careful not to cut through it. And the recipe we're gonna do with this is gonna be like a Chinese pork char siu, which is pretty much just barbecue pork that you see at the Chinese takeout spots, where it's got that very obviously fake red color. So we're gonna try to recreate that, make a marinade without using any red dye or anything. Okay, put that skin aside. But yeah, little to no bloodline. I mean, we also bled these guys right away. But one of the drawbacks to tilefish that is this small is this right here. The bones go all the way to there. So I mean, that tail is there. So to cut these bones out, you have to come all the way down. So what I think we're gonna do is let it rest, and then we're gonna pull the bones out later so that we're not cutting out any more of our yield, since this is all we have to work with. The way that I'm drying out the skin, I just have it between 2 paper towels, and that's going into the fridge just like that. Make sure you can see that. But just like that, and I'll probably let it sit like this, and then I'm gonna put it on a wire rack and let it really dry out, and then we're gonna scrape any of the remaining meat off of the skin there. For our Char Siu marinade, we got a couple of different things. I'll explain each one. So this is red fermented bean curd. And this is what gives the very distinct red color to if you've ever had that pork char siu at a Chinese restaurant. So put in a cube of that. Then I have hoisin sauce. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but essentially all we're making is a barbecue sauce. So a little bit of hoisin, but I'm gonna make it a little bit thinner, and we're going to marinate the fish for about 48 hours. Now I have agave. You could use brown sugar. Normally that's what you would use, but I forgot to get brown sugar and I had agave, so we are using agave. You could use honey, any kind of sweetener, anything with sugar, so that when you put it under the broiler on the grill, it will take on a char, that the sugar will caramelize. And then soy sauce. This is rice cooking wine. Five spice powder. 5-spice powder is normally, it says right here, cinnamon, cloves, fennel, anise, which I think is star anise. It's what gives Char Siu, it's very, very distinct flavor. So we're actually gonna put about a tablespoon of that in there. Now, one other ingredient a lot of places add is red food coloring, and we're not gonna do that. I took the 2 larger fillets and cut them in half. I still haven't removed the bones, and I'm contemplating just cooking this with the bones and then pulling them out after it's done cooking. So we're gonna put that into the marinade, and this will sit for no less than 48 hours. Alright, I'll see you guys in 2 days. One thing that I forgot to add that I just added inside and mixed around is rice vinegar. That's actually very important. So I have my dried skin here. Looks like dried snake skin, but I'm gonna cut this into pieces about that big. Got my oil heating up. And then we're gonna salt these immediately. Just a little bit of sea salt. So inside I have some rice cooking, and as a side for our fish, I'm just going to do a really simple sauteed zucchini. One of the reasons why is because my sister grew zucchini, and also a friend traded me some fish for some zucchini, so I have an insane amount of zucchini inside. So we're just going to make some sauteed zucchini. And slice up some shallot. Now, normally one of the things I do with the zucchini, which I've done on the channel before as well, is I like to salt it beforehand to get some of that moisture out. Because that's one of the things, like when people don't like zucchini, it's because it's a little bit slimy if you don't get that moisture out. But I'm going to be honest, sometimes I kind of like that texture, and that's what I'm going for now. But one of the tricks I found with zucchini is that when you put it in the pan, don't move it. Just let it sit for a bit. So by letting it sit, you get that nice char on it. And that'll give the zucchini a little bit of texture when you go to eat it, and it's not just complete mush. So now that it's taken on some color, I'll salt it. That'll draw some of the moisture out. And now we'll add our garlic. And then a shallot. Some black pepper. And now we're going to deglaze with our rice wine. And that's it. Now, for my fish that's been marinating for 2 days. If you've ever done miso cod, this is basically the same idea. So that rice, the cooking wine in there, is going to almost start to cure the fish, along with the soy sauce and everything else. Okay, and if I time this all right, the rice should be done. This is going under the broiler for 7 minutes, and the rice has about 7 minutes left, so it should all come out at the same time. So I'm going to go throw this in the oven, and I'll see you back here in 7 minutes. Can we talk about how perfect these came out? So that was exactly 7 minutes, and that's what I meant when I said that you need the sugar to caramelize a little bit on the outside, but these are perfectly done. Okay, let's plate up. And a little bit of scallion for good measure. So there you go, guys. There's our golden tile char siu with skin crackling and some zucchini. Let's eat. I couldn't be happier. With the way that the day went, I knew I had to do something kind of special with the golden tile just to kind of turn that day around. But I will say this as well. When you're in a situation like that, you get to see kind of people's character. You know, you see how they react, if they panic or anything like that. And I will say that those guys, if there were ever 3 guys that I want to have a 10-hour boat ride with, it's those 3 guys. man, not one complaint out of any of them. Dean fished the whole way back, and it's just, that was the situation. And we still got fish in the boat. It was really amazing. And it was amazing to see someone have that positivity when that much was going wrong. But with that said, let's bite into this fish. Ooh. Big juicy flakes. Look at that. It's the 5-spice. This 5-spice, if you didn't know what it was when you had Chinese barbecue, if you tried to make it and you left that out, that's what would be missing. And if there was ever a fish that was meant to have this done, you could do it with grouper, but you know, with big old juicy flakes like that even after the curing process and the broiler still stay super, super moist. And I couldn't be happier than with the cracklings. That really is, that is something special. And the fact that, what's funny is that I'll go for tilefish down in Key West with Aaron, and we'll get gray tile, but there's golden tile down there too. And the fact that you can get them up here as well is really exciting, that they're that spread out, because they're such an amazing fish. I can't thank Dean enough for making that happen, even in the face of all that. So thank you very much, Dean. Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Bob. But all right, guys, I am going to enjoy this, make a plate. Got a couple people inside that want to eat, and I'll see you on the next one.